Now, in June, the industry experienced further and welcome gains across all facility types. The industry average jumped to just shy of $225 a day in ADS, which nearly achieves the starting point modeled out by the department's original estimates, where we thought AN-ACC would start in October of last year. However, in better news, we can expect further growth in ADS from July, as the department has committed to funding higher wages in residential aged care across the country. The funding uplift will increase the AN-ACC ADS from $225 in June by over 17% to about $260 a day in ADS for providers. Now, the total claiming activity achieved by the assessment management organizations came backwards across June to roughly half of what they achieved in the May period. About 4.5% of the industry had assessments being done, with voluntary claiming also coming backwards to only achieving about 2.7% of voluntary reclassification requests by providers. Now, per admission activity across June was slightly up, but the winter months are proving to be a slight setback from the occupancy trends that we had leading up to April. Now, it looked back then that the average occupied bed days looked hopeful to break the 90% occupancy mark. However, the trend of short-term stay admissions continued a downward slide as the amount of consumers staying in care for longer than 6 months is increasing. Hopefully, the trend of this decreasing segment of short-term stays will continue, as it did over the last month, retracting to just over 23% of our sector. The occupancy levels were largely stabilized by those longer staying consumers, even as the industry experienced a drop in new permanent admissions and respite bed days. And the profile of a residential admission continues to be an 85-year-old consumer. With June now complete and the official target setting period now live, we saw a slowdown in total direct care minutes worked, but a slight uptick in the RN minutes achieved. Now, we attribute the slowdown from the new AN-ACC claiming approach, which providers will need to utilize, as now with every funding outcome comes a direct care minute requirement. We anticipate, as the RUC study designed into the AN-ACC model, there will be a shift from the ACC claiming mindset of maximization to a more balanced approach of AN-ACC claiming, where providers will balance their claiming around the ongoing requirements of their consumers and unique care models. Now, this design will drive behaviors across the sector to only claim what you need to recover from your rosters of care, rather than trying to cherry pick only deteriorated consumers for higher funding or maximization activities, such as what we were familiar with in the ACV mindset. Now, agency minutes remained relatively flat for the period. However, there were material drops within the allied health and diversional therapy teams.